A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session. And this session is all about 7 English enrichment inputs. Let us see what the 7 English enrichment inputs are. To begin with, you're going to improve. There is an input regarding your comprehension skill. And today's source to improve your comprehension skill, the first input, this editorial discusses the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's pledge to govern by consensus as 18th Lok Sabha begins in its first session. It's all about governance through consensus. The second, English enrichment input vocabulary, effective vocabulary. You're going to learn the meanings of these words along with synonyms and antonyms. Consensus, elusive, spar, face off, interlocutor, tactical, cornerstone. And a few students responded. They wrote regarding yesterday's topic. I appreciate, and it good enough to begin with. Today, the assignment write about the Lok Sabha speaker, the post, the functions, all that. That will help in the long run. Coming to effective English, today I have brought phrasal verbs, both phrasal verbs and idioms. Idioms go into overdrive, make headway, pull out all the stops, sink your teeth into, burn the candle. And grammar, some important sentences based on that, what you can learn, what you can recollect, and grammar rule based on that, one important rule will be given. And exam topics, errors, idioms, phrasal verbs, parajumble. These are the exam topics. Let us go to input one. What is input one? Editorial effective vocabulary. And where does it help? Every day when you get a lot of effective words, you should ask the question, where do they help? Exam topics, word usage, word swap, fillers, synonyms, antonyms, meanings of words based on the context in the passage, and word combinations, close test. All these are you can handle effortlessly with a lot of ease. Let us start with the first word, consensus. The entire editorial is based on this particular word. Governance through consensus. Part of speech noun. Let us look at the context. Call for consensus. When you call for something, here, call for it has two different meanings. One meaning the situation calls for means it demands for, maybe a negative context. But call for consensus. Consensus is a positive word. That means request and appeal for consensus on the Prime Minister's pledge and the 18th Lok Sabha. But what is the meaning of this one? General agreement among a group of people. When we say call for consensus, you have to think it's a positive word. It's a goes with a positive context. Example, the committee reached a consensus on the new policy after a lengthy discussion. After a lengthy discussion, they have reached a consensus. Means what? General agreement. It is a positive thing. The example also positive context. Agreement, accord, unity, concurrence. When we come across synonyms or antonyms, do remember a few words are easy, but a few new words are general consensus, wrong, redundancy. Very good, Naidu. Accord, concurrence, you have to remember. Disagreement, antonyms, discord, you all know dissent. These two you have to remember for sure. Conflict, simple word. The second word, elusive, part of speech, adjective. Let us look at the context. A demonstration of any convergence between them on any key question of governance or politics unfortunately remains elusive. Here we have the word unfortunately, something negative. Remains elusive means unfortunately, remains difficult, remains elusive, remains something negative, a negative context, a negative word you have to think of. Meaning, difficult to find, catch, or achieve. Simple, achieve. Usually we use elusive, success, to achieve success. The solution to the problem proved to be elusive despite many attempts. The solution to the problem. In English, there is a saying. What is that saying? Every problem has a solution. But look at this sentence. Success is elusive. In nature, need not be. The solution to the problem proved to be elusive despite many attempts. They have tried many a time, but they haven't got success. Based on that, it has been, oh, who is this? Please excuse me. Vinay Kumar says, sir, I got a job in Forest Department as junior executive. Glad to know that. Congratulations on your success. I wish you all the best. Your career, good. Happy for you. All of you, please congratulate him. Here, the solution to the problem proved to be elusive despite many attempts. They have tried many a time, but they could not get success. Based on that, they say it has been elusive. And this Vinay Kumar success hasn't been elusive. He has got success. We can make a sentence spontaneously. Success hasn't been elusive to Vinay Kumar. Means what? He has achieved success. Good. Evasive, slippery, intangible, fleeting. But fleeting does not go with this context. It means something like temporary. Evasive, you have to remember, intangible also doesn't go with this context. We have got many a time tangible, intangible, concrete, abstract, tangible, concrete, same. Something you can see or touch. And abstract, intangible, same. Something you cannot see or touch. Clear, obvious, attainable, accessible, all simple words. Spar, part of speech verb. Let us look at the context. The NDA and the India bloc sparred over the selection of the pro tem speaker. Two, one is the ruling party, the other one is opposition. They sparred over the uh, pro tem speaker. From the context, what should you understand? They did not agree or they argued with each other. That is the contextual awareness. And now appear set for a face off over the speaker's post. Same mindset being continued. Engaged in argument or dispute. Spar means to argue. Box with light blows doesn't go in this context. Look at the example. The politicians sparred over the proposed legislation during the debate. Means they argued over the proposed legislation during the debate. Quarreled, argued, fought, debated. Generally, we don't use these words. They have other connotations. Agreed, harmonized, reconciled, concurred. These two words you have to remember. Face off. Part of speech, it can be a noun, it can be a phrasal verb. Let us look at the context. The NDA and the India bloc sparred over the selection of the pro tem speaker and now appear set for a face off over the speaker's post. Face off means you can guess, come face to face, confront, to have enmity, antagonistic attitude, or show hostility. A confrontation or contest between opponents, more than contest, it is confrontation. To confront as a verb, to confront or engage in a contest or competition, in a fight here. The two teams will face off in the championship match tomorrow. Championship match, they come face to face. Confrontation, clash, showdown, competition. Agreement, truce. Accord, conciliation. All the three words you have to remember. Interlocutor, we got last year, Mr. Ravi, the governor of a particular northeastern state. One particular editorial I remember, we got this word. Part of speech, noun. Union Minister Rajnath Singh, who has emerged as the government's key interlocutor, has reached out to opposition leaders. Has emerged as a government's key interlocutor, has reached out to opposition leaders, means as a mediator, you can say. And let us see the meaning. A person who takes part in a dialogue or conversation. During the negotiation, each interlocutor presented their case clearly. Conversationalist, speaker, participant, respondent, listener, audience, spectator, observer. Not exactly, in a way. Tactical question. Tact means knack, being smart. Here, beyond the limited tactical question of the stability of the government, the building of coalition should be treated as a cornerstone of India's progress and prosperity. Middlemen, you can say, yes, relating to or constituting actions carefully planned to gain a specific military end, strategic move, you can say, or an advantage in game or competition. Here, tactical question, in a way, important question. The coach made a tactical decision, strategic decision to substitute a player. Here, tactical question is what? Stability of the government, because the present government is a coalition government. Synonyms: strategic, calculated, planned, deliberate. Spontaneous, haphazard. Systematic, opposite, haphazard. Cornerstone, we have got many a time. Beyond the limited tactical question of the stability of the government, the building of coalition should be treated as the cornerstone of India's progress and prosperity. An important quality or feature on which a particular thing depends or is based, the basis of something. Trust is the cornerstone of any successful relationship, beyond any doubt. Foundation, basis, keystone, anchor. Anchor we don't use, different connotation. Because foundation, opposite, top, culmination, apex, peak, but need not be literally don't take. Norms we have got many a time, social norms. As a leader of the ruling coalition, the BJP should demonstrate a renewed commitment to the norms and substance of parliament, to the standards of parliament, standards or patterns of behavior that are typical or expected within a society or group. Social norms often dictate what is considered acceptable behavior in a community. Yes, standards, conventions, customs, rules, traditions. Anomaly means abnormal, aberration, exceptions, deviations, irregularities. Let us go to input 2, comprehension, the passage kind of a thing, short passage you can say. Where does it help? Passage, close test, para jumble, scrambled sentences. Call for consensus. You read, I will also read, and I will tell based on the sentence, I will tell what exactly it means. Call for consensus on the Prime Minister's pledge and the 18th Lok Sabha. What is the Prime Minister's pledge? To govern based on consensus, to govern through consensus. Main idea, Parliament should give room for extended debates and disagreements. Don't touch grammar, we have a separate input. There we'll touch grammar, understand the context and the meaning. Parliament should give room for extended debates and disagreements. Means what? In the Parliament, new 18th Lok Sabha, there should be debates and disagreements. That is good for democracy. Read this. You also read, I will also read. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has pledged to govern by consensus even as the 18th Lok Sabha began its first session. He has taken a pledge. What is that pledge? To govern by consensus, means general agreement, even as the 18th Lok Sabha began its first session. The ruling National Democratic Alliance NDA and the opposition India bloc have both reiterated. Reiterate means to strengthen, to say something emphatically. What did they reiterate? What have they reiterated? Their rhetoric. Rhetoric, speech or writing to convince or persuade the masses. On protecting the Constitution, which was one of the central themes of the recent campaign during the 2024 general election. Sentence says the NDA and the India bloc both have reiterated something. What have they reiterated? Protecting the Constitution. And same thing they did at the time of the recently conducted elections while campaigning. While both sides say they seek consensus and are loyal to the Constitution, a demonstration of any convergence means a meeting, merging. Both say they talk about consensus, they are looking for consensus, they're searching for consensus, and are loyal to the Constitution. They want to protect the Constitution. A demonstration of any convergence between them on any key question of governance or politics unfortunately remains elusive. Though they say all that, consensus on governance or politics, unfortunately negative, remains elusive, means difficult to achieve. The first session to substantiate, this is a statement given by the editorial or the writer. What they try to do, they try to substantiate. All these sentences, they are for justification. The first session was in fact marked by mutual hostility that carried over from the campaign. Campaign, at the time of campaign, the hostility started. Enmity, antagonistic. The NDA and in the India bloc sparred over, argued over the selection of the pro tem speaker. From campaign, it went to pro tem speaker, and now appears set for a face off over the speaker's post. Three incidents where they had this antagonistic stand or they had hostility. Based on that, consensus remains elusive. The opposition has expressed willingness to support the NDA's candidate in return for the post of deputy speaker. But here, Congress has taken one step forward. It has uh, come up with a proposal. What is that proposal? They are willing to support the speaker suggested by the NDA, provided they get the deputy speaker post in return. And now the editor talks about the post of deputy speaker, what happened 16th Lok Sabha, 17th Lok Sabha. In the past, the deputy speaker's post has mostly gone to a member of the opposition. That was the tradition. To substantiate that, in the 16th Lok Sabha, the post went to the All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, and in the 17th Lok Sabha, the post remained vacant for its entire term. Unprecedented, never happened in the history of Indian Parliament. Deputy Speaker post remaining vacant never happened. Unprecedented. What is the stand regarding, though the Congress has proposed, you give us the Deputy Speaker post, we'll give you the Speaker post. The BJP remains non-committal on supporting an opposition candidate for the Deputy Speaker. Hasn't committed yet. Mr. Modi's call for consensus and parliamentary debates can be a reassuring sign of a healthy democracy. Because he has taken a pledge, he has taken a stand he is very particular about consensus and parliamentary debates. This is a good thing, a reassuring sign, something that gives you a nice feeling or makes you feel confident and comfortable. A reassuring sign of a healthy democracy. But only if that statement is translated into tangible action. Making a statement, giving a statement is rather easy, but implementing not that easy. Based on that, there's a condition. In English, we express a condition with the word if. If that statement is translated into tangible action, good for democracy. Union Minister Rajnath Singh, who has emerged as the government's key interlocutor, has reached out to the opposition leaders, and such interactions should become frequent. Now, editor takes a stand. Mr. Rajnath Singh has emerged interlocutor, means a mediator, you can say, conversationalist, dialogue, one who participates in the dialogue, and has reached out to opposition leaders. Editorial opines these interactions are good and should be more. Such interactions should become frequent. Consensus may be unachievable in many instances and may not even be necessary in some cases. May be unachievable. Chances are bleak, or chances are there, more chances are there, and may not even be necessary in some cases not required. By demonstrating a commitment to sharing power within the ruling alliance, and with opposition, Mr. Modi could expand his political authority and legitimacy. There are two things over here. If the Prime Minister demonstrate means to show, demonstrates a commitment to sharing power within the ruling alliance, that is one thing, NDA, and with opposition, then what is the possible outcome? Mr. Modi could expand his political authority and legitimacy. Beyond the limited tactical question of the stability of the government, in which the BJP is shy of a majority by 32 seats. Here, shy of means a short of. The building of coalition should be treated as a cornerstone of India's progress and prosperity. Forget about the stability, but coalition governments are good. And why coalition government? BJP is short of 32 seats to get the majority. And these coalition governments should be treated as a cornerstone, the foundation of India's progress and prosperity. The first session of the new Lok Sabha should set the tone for extended debates, more room for disagreements, and the pursuit of common ground across parties. This is what it has to do. Proceedings of the House and of committees fell short on these counts during the last two terms of the Lok Sabha. 18th Lok Sabha, the first session should set the tone or mood for three things. One, extended debates. Second, more room for disagreements. And third, the pursuit of common ground consensus across parties. Unfortunately, the proceedings of the House and of committees fell short on these counts, these reasons, or these things during the last two terms of the Lok Sabha. As a leader of the ruling coalition, the BJP should demonstrate a renewed commitment to the norms and substance of parliament, and the opposition should respond constructively. Because BJP is a ruling coalition, ruling party, as a leader of the ruling coalition, the BJP should demonstrate a renewed commitment to the norms and substance of parliament, expected, required. And based on that, the opposition should respond constructively, not destructively. Let us go to comprehension-based questions. Please answer quickly. What central theme did both The NDA and the opposition India bloc emphasized during the recent campaign of the 2024 general election. Here it talks about not about the first Lok Sabha session, talks about general election, recently concluded general election at the time of the campaign. What was the central theme? Economic reforms? No. Protecting the constitution? Clearly mentioned. B is the answer. In the 16th Lok Sabha, which party held the post of deputy speaker? 16th, 17th, important. 16th, it went to a member of opposition party. Which party is that? All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, AIADMK. You don't have to read the remaining options. What unprecedented situation occurred regarding the deputy speaker post in the 17th Lok Sabha? 16th, it went to the opposition member, AIADMK party member. But 17th, what happened? Unprecedented situation. It was held by the ruling party. It remained vacant for the entire term. Never happened before in the history of Lok Sabha. B is the answer. You don't have to look beyond. Who has emerged as the government's key interlocutor to reach out to opposition leaders? Not Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh. You don't have to go beyond. What does the editorial propose as necessary for the new Lok Sabha to improve democratic processes? What is required? Shorter sessions? No. Extended debates and more room for disagreements. Stricter party discipline, increased focus on foreign policy, irrelevant. Yes. Now, English grammar inputs, where does it help? What exams topic do they cover? Error location, sentence improvement, phrase replacement, correct sentence, wrong sentence, all these. You got to be good at grammar. Based on this sentence, the opposition has expressed a willingness, this is present perfect tense, to support the NDA's candidate in return for the post of deputy speaker. The moment you see the word return, you have to think of redundancy and recollect a few important examples. A return back, wrong. A revert back, wrong. A repeat again, wrong. All these you have to recollect. Important from the exam point of view. Consensus may be unachievable in many instances, may not even be necessary in some cases. Based on this, you have to recollect may, possibility, and might, could, should. Possibility. What is the difference? More chances, less chances. That you have to recollect, important. Spell out in detail, very good. Discuss about, they go more with, very good. Have a look at the comment box, others. The first session, before ordinal numbers, first, second, third, we have to use a definite article, the. Though based on the context, we have exceptions. Of the new Lok Sabha, should set. Already I told, yesterday also I told. Should is used to advise or suggest. It is also used to express the possibility, chances are less. Set the tone for extended debates. More room for, very important, room. Here, room means space. In many exams I've given, there is no room in the compartment. No room in the compartment means what? No room in the compartment. Generally, we know the word room. This is a room, a small room. But room has another meaning. What is it? Space. There is no room in the compartment means there is no space in the compartment. More room for disagreements means more space for disagreements and debates. The proceedings of the House and of committees fell short, fall short, idiomatic expression, not to reach the expected standards. On these counts, an important phrase, on these reasons, on these aspects. This you have to look at. Effective English inputs. Today I have brought what comes under effective English: idioms and phrasal verbs, foreign words. First, we have phrasal verbs. I have brought 5 sentences. In each sentence, you have a phrasal verb. You have to look at that and pick up the meaning. You have the meanings here. Look around means explore what is near. Based on that, 3 is the answer. I will pick you up at the station means to collect someone typically in one's car. 4 is the answer. We got off at the last station. Leave the vehicle. Got off the car. Set out on the last stage of their journey means start a long journey. I was held up at work means I got delayed at work. 3, 4, 5, 2, 1. Idioms, 5 idioms. What do they mean? Go into overdrive. To start working very hard. Make headway. Make progress. Pull out all the stops. To do everything you can to make something successful. Sink your teeth into. To start to do something with a lot of enthusiasm. Burn the candle at both ends. Get little sleep because you're busy. If you have got all the 5 correct, you should be happy. You haven't gone to idioms yet. Grammar rules, everyday one grammar rule. What exam topics do they cover? Error location, sentence improvement, phrase replacement, correct sentence you have to identify, a wrong sentence you have to identify. The criteria that has been used is quite effective. A sentence like this, you have to focus on the verbs. We have 2 verbs, and both the verbs are in singular form. When 2 verbs are in singular form, obviously the subject has to be singular. But here, what is the subject? The criteria. Criteria is a plural form, so it is not correct. We have to use a singular form. What is it? Criterion. Here you have to recollect what is the rule. Nouns of Latin and Greek origin. They do not take S or ES. And so many are there. I will write important ones. Criterion singular. What is a plural? Criteria. Phenomenon singular. What is a plural? Phenomena. And memorandum singular. What is a plural? Memoranda. I was expecting that, Anusha. All of you have a look at the comment box. Our students, they come up with all the words. I don't get time to write all those. I stop after 1 or 2. But today I would like to write 4 important ones. The first 4. Alumnus, alumni or alumni. Either way it is correct. What exam topics do they cover? Writing skill inputs, essay writing, letter writing, précis. Yesterday, some students wrote and they got back. They sent the essays. Good enough. They wrote well, in fact. Today, the assignment, write about the speaker of Lok Sabha, the post, the functions, all that. Write something that helps in the long run. Exam topics, input 7, exam topics inputs. What exam topics do they cover? Error location, fillers, phrase replacement, sentence improvement, and all these go with comprehension, all these. Today I have brought error location. First, you try to. The increase in armed militias in both the valley as well as hill areas. Don't go beyond this, save your time. Both as well as common error, both takes a word and. Both and, not as well as. Remember, that is a combination. Next, the conflict has now spread to hitherto peaceful districts such as Jiribam, even as the Impal Valley and other areas saw rising extortion and abductions. When you read a sentence, you should always look for the time phrase. There's no time phrase here, but both the clauses talk about something that happened in the past. Based on that no time phrase, past event, we have to use present perfect. Here we have present perfect tense, nothing wrong. These are first clause, all this. And from here, second clause. Other areas saw. Second clause also should be in present perfect. Based on that, have seen, has spread, have seen. Here, present perfect, present perfect. Past action, No time phrase, we should use present perfect. Both the clauses should be in present perfect. In the latest meeting with a host of security and administrative officials, the chief minister is not invited. Here we are talking about a meeting already over. Then we cannot say chief minister is invited. We have to say was invited. Already meeting over. Based on that, we should use the verb in the past form, not in the present form. The last one, it is a well established fact that the Indian Himalayan region, generally I tell students, if a sentence has a pronoun, begins with a pronoun, cannot be the first one, eliminate. I also tell students, in English we have exceptions. Hold this one. Despite cannot be the first one, both cannot be the first one, and conjunction cannot be the first one. There is no subject, cannot be the first one. As the economy, many of you may think F is the first one. No, A is the first one. That's why I tell students read completely, understand the context. Here, we are not talking about noun pronoun. We are talking about it is a well established fact. Something is a well established fact. Something it can be the first one, subject. It is a well established fact. Something is a well established fact. Take it that way. Based on that, A is the first one. It is a well established fact that the Indian Himalayan region is what? Both India's water tower and also the critical provider of invaluable ecosystem and goods and services. AC one pair. Despite this understanding, there has always been dissonance between the special development needs and the development model being pursued in the IHR. Two things related special development needs, the development model. Based on that, here B and D, one pair. As the economy of the region is dependent on the health and the well being of its natural resources, plundering the same in the name of development will inevitably and surely lead the IHR towards its economic ruin. Based on that FE1 pair. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched, and I hope the number will go up English to English. Have a nice day. Do remember to subscribe and share. I'll provide the PDF in the afternoon. Try to access, for that you have to join the Telegram group. Thank you very much.